Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
India, having lost their first match of the ICC Women's World Cup to host nation New Zealand, will have to put that aside pretty quickly because they're coming up against the most dangerous side in the tournament at the moment, the West Indies. The advantage that India have is that they'll be playing at Hamilton, the same ground and the same pitch, whereas the West Indies haven't played here at Hamilton, so India have the advantage of knowing the conditions. They've got an opportunity to potentially stop the momentum of the West Indian side, but also to sneak back into the top four and also improve their net run rate. It's time to dissect India's match against the Caribbean side here on Cricbuzz. India need to be wary of this West Indian side simply because they've already beaten New Zealand and the recent title holder, the English side. Both times they were able to defend the total and put a lot of pressure on the opposition. They also have the ability to clear the boundary with ease. They are such powerful players from a batting perspective, but also from a throwing perspective and their athleticism. Need I remind you about Deandra Dotton's catch? One of the best catches we will see this tournament, guaranteed. And then something more important than their skill and their power and athleticism is the belief that they have at the moment. They're a happy group. All of a sudden they know how to win games of cricket, and under Courtney Walsh as the head coach, they flicked a switch, which is really great to see because they play an entertaining brand of cricket. India's ace card has to be their bowlers, led by Pooja Vastrika, who picked up 4 wickets against New Zealand. Julan Goswami, she only needs 1 more wicket to be the leading wicket taker in Women's World Cup. What an amazing achievement by her. And if she can execute the Yorkers like she did at the back end, no doubt she will get those 40 wickets. Also, Rajaswari Gaikwad has been bowling really well, getting a good amount of turn, and no doubt she will do exactly the same on Seddon Park. A weakness when you're looking at the West Indian side, it's kind of hard to find one at the moment just because they're playing really good cricket. They have to ensure that they probably take the pace off. They don't give them too much pace to work with just because they're so powerful. Ask them to make the power. Ask them to get everything technically correct. Then maybe you can cash in. And I also think that India should bat first. In terms of the playing 11 for both teams, well, the West Indian side, they haven't made a change. And why would you? They're winning games of cricket. You don't upset a winning formula, do you? Unless there's a niggle, albeit I reckon a lot of those girls will get on the park anyway. They'll want to play against India. I can't see the West Indies changing their side. As for India, I know they tinkered with Shafali Verma sitting out against New Zealand and Yastika Bhatia coming in and opening the batting. It didn't seem to work. She wasn't able to really get going. So as I said prior to that match, that you probably drop Shafali Verma just for New Zealand, given that she hasn't had a lot of success against them. You absolutely bring her back against the West Indian side. Almost you fight power with power. And fingers crossed for Shafali Verma and the Indian side that she gets going because she is such a dynamic player. As for the rest of the side, I think they'll keep the same. From a bowling department, everything is going well. The only thing that I really want to see, and I keep banging on about it, and I know and I'm sorry for it, is Mithali Raj needs to bat at 3. She needs more time. You can even bring Harmanpreet Kaur up as well to that number 4, and then you can drop Dipti Sharma down to 5, and then you've got all of your all-rounders that are doing a really good job. The one player you need to look out for is Hayley Matthews. I mean, you look at what she's been able to achieve already, 119 against New Zealand, 45, and then picked up 2 for in both of those encounters. She is the key. Wasn't supposed to open the batting, but because of a concussion, got put into that position the night before, and boy, they haven't looked back. The other one as well, just quickly, a special mention, Stephanie Taylor. She's been quiet so far in the 2 matches. I don't think she'll be quiet anymore, so India certainly need to look out for both those 2 players. If India are to win and stop the West Indies on this wonderful high that they're feeling so far in this tournament, they have to take their chances, the half chances that any of their top order give. It's going to come powerfully, it's going to be coming really quick, and they've got to be alert and ready to go. Also, I think the spinners, and I mentioned this before, probably need to slow it up. Try not to give them too much pace to work with. Try and take the pace off it as well. And finally, Mithali Raj, if she wins the toss, I hope she bats first. It's the same pitch as the game that they played in New Zealand, and so far we've seen that teams that have actually lost the toss win more at Hamilton. It's almost a ground you don't want to win the toss on. Plus, we've also seen the West Indies, they certainly enjoy batting first, getting runs on the board and then squeezing the opposition. So maybe sometimes it's all about taking that advantage away from the opposition, getting them to do something that they don't really want to do or they haven't experienced so far. So if India win the toss, I hope to see that they bat first. In terms of prediction, well, you can't see the West Indies stopping at the moment, though they are a side that it depends what day it is and when they turn up, but they're absolutely on a high. I think they're only going to get a better understanding. The fact that you had Campbell contributing with the bat in hand, you'll have other players that step up. It's almost like it's rubbing off. I think the West Indies will overpower the Indian side because from a batting perspective for India, they still haven't quite got it right at the top of the order. If they do, they have a chance to beat the Caribbean side.